Hi everyone, it's Michael. This video is all about my attempts to create more humidity for my orchids. Now, I say attempts because I've tried a lot of different things and I was crazy about very few of them. So I want to discuss what I tried, what I did and did not like about it, what problems arose, give you a snapshot of what I'm doing now, and also kind of give you an idea of what direction I would like to head in. So just a brief disclaimer, I am in a very different environment than most people. I'm in Colorado. It is very, very arid here. It is very dry. So what works for me, you have to take with a grain of salt. You're gonna have to tweak, modify, and adapt, and as I always say, there is no substitute for your own experience. So I'll take you down and we can talk more about it. All right, my friends, we have arrived. So I'm gonna jump in with the first thing that I tried, which was Pacific Northwestern moss. So the interesting thing about this attempt was that it was not based off of research, it was not based off of any existing literature for orchid growing. It was just an inkling that I had that it would work. So anytime I would buy a water-loving orchid from a gardening center, let's say a Phragmipedium, I would see a little layer of green moss right at the top, and I thought to myself, okay, that's a clue. So it's a symbiosis. It creates a moisture barrier, and it's really, really good for the plant. So the first way I tried to replicate that was very, very silly. I took the leca beads, a whole tray of them, and I coated them in a solution of buttermilk and blended up moss, chunks of moss. And the objective was to get moss to grow directly on the beads, which I would then take, arrange on the top layer, and create a moisture barrier. Well, instead what it did was it just grew a bunch of mold, some moss, but mostly mold. And it occurred to me in that process, if I'm flushing these systems with water, it's going to flush the buttermilk solution down towards the roots, and that could potentially be detrimental to the plant. So I scrapped that idea, and I went straight to the source. I just took live sheets of the Pacific Northwestern moss and started to arrange it at the top of the orchid. And I thought, okay, great, that's gonna be perfect. Well, I underestimated the wicking properties of the leca beads. So as we know, the leca is going to wick the water up from the reservoir, but it'll also wick moisture from the top if it's present. So within 4 to 5 days, all of this had yellowed and died because the leca beads were just pulling the moisture straight out of it and down. So that didn't work. So finally I got online, I looked at the forums, and everyone was saying, you have got to try sphagnum moss arranged in a top layer of your plant, because that's just going to create a nice moisture barrier, it's gonna get rid of your dry line problems, it's gonna create even humidity, and I was like, this is the answer to my prayers. So I did that. And for about 4 months, I loved it. The plants seemed to really enjoy it as well. But then something occurred to me. As you can see with this plant here, I still haven't swapped out the potting medium because I wanted you to see, but there are all of these lingering bits of sphagnum moss that have made their way down into the entire container. So what started to happen was it was plugging up the aeration holes. It was creating these mini clogs that prevented the orchid from breathing, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of semi-hydroponic orchid growing anyway. It's an airy medium for them to expand and breathe and have that gas exchange that is so crucial to their health. And if left unattended, like any other organic medium, the sphagnum moss is going to decompose and then it's going to suffocate the plant. So I had to scrap that idea. So then I got a humidity tray and I thought, okay, a lot of people love this, it's definitely gonna work. But ultimately, I didn't see a huge difference between the humidity that's generated within the container versus on a humidity tray. It just seems as though it didn't create ambient humidity, which is really what I was looking to elevate for these plants. So then I went, you know what, I'm gonna go old fashioned, I'm gonna go tried and true, and I got myself a humidifier. And boy, do I hate it. The humidifier, it's effective, it's elevating the ambient humidity, but and I'm sure you can infer this from watching my channel, aesthetics are so critical to me. We spend so much time cultivating and growing and pouring our energy into these beautiful alien plants, and it seems kind of a waste to pair them with things that are unsightly or noisy. So that's why I do glass containers, and it's why I'm looking for a really attractive alternative to generate ambient humidity. So that being said, I'm looking at a few options right now, and I will make a video if I ever find one that I think is really, really suitable. But I want to find something that is artisanal and lovely and elegant that will elevate the ambient humidity in my home. But as far as I can see, the options are extremely pricey. So for now, I'll have to deal with my very noisy humidifier, but hopefully this has given you some insight. And just to kind of tie a bow on everything, of course we want to generate more ambient humidity for the orchids, but arranging anything on a layer on top, doing anything that fundamentally alters the nature of the semi-hydroponic system is not beneficial. It may be beneficial for a short period of time, but ultimately it is going to set the plant back because the system is intended to exist just like it is. So don't fix it if it's not broken is how I feel. The only thing I need to fix is the humidity in my environment, and I will keep you posted on how that journey progresses. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, I invite you politely to subscribe, like this video if it was helpful to you, and you can always refer a friend. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I so appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.